Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm MrRedClaw. Welcome back to some more World of Tanks. Before we get right, head down below, like and subscribe, just help out a lot, and let's get right into it over here. So today, as we can see, the one, the only, it's the Tiger One. You know, probably one of the most famous tanks, you know, during the World War II era, for many reasons. You know, during its time, it was, you know, way ahead of its, like, you know, time, I guess you could call it, you know, way better than, you know, what the Allies had in terms of, you know, the M4 Sherman, the T-34. The Germans came out with the Tiger, but of course, it had several problems. Towards the end of the war, they didn't really have too many trained crews for this, and, well, it was quite a complex vehicle, as you can see over here. Of course, the T-34, being the most produced tank during World War II, because of its simplicity, the USSR could just mass produce it, and of course this, a lot harder to kind of get the materials for it, especially if you're Nazi Germany towards the end of the war. It was really hard for them to even get enough, you know, metal and all of that to actually build this stuff. But of course, here in the game, it has, you know, none of that problem, none of those problems. You know, you have it, you can repair it however many times you want. And of course, a couple of years ago now, I'm not really sure when exactly, maybe around 2 years ago, they kind of changed the gun. Before, of course, it has an 88mm gun, like quite a lot of mid-tier German tanks do in the game. Now, of course, quite some time ago, it did 240 alpha damage, but they changed it to 280. And I think they kind of did this because, well, the Tiger One, it was a really, you know, famous tank, I guess you could call it. You know, who doesn't know what the Tiger One is? And during kind of like, for many years, it was fine. But then, you know, power creep and all of that, tanks, you know, Russian tanks with 390 alpha damage, loads of other tanks with, you know, 390, maybe even more at tier 7 over here. Of course, let's be in a tier 7 German heavy tank. And, you know, the 240 wasn't enough for this tank, so he buffed it up to 280, and now it's a really solid tank with 2,246.46 DPM. It's really good DPM. You know, this has, you know, some tier 8 medium tanks have this sort of DPM, and of course, if you're like the 122 TM, you have about 1,000 less than this, 900 to 1,000 less than this, which is a huge difference. And of course, compared to the IS, the T95, the IS having 175mm of penetration, and the T95 198, I'm pretty sure, this has 203 on the standard rounds and 237 on the premium rounds. And as you can see, Dr. New, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to call him the Doctor over here. Doctor over here is mostly using APCR rounds. I'm not really sure if he has two kind of setups and he kind of decided to use more APCR rounds in this game because of all of the tier 9s. Or maybe he just plays like this, it's his favourite tank, you know, not really one to judge. If you really want to just, you know, go, you know, ham in one tank, I guess, lose money but just have maximum amounts of fun, then, you know, go ahead. But this APCR rounds, the premium rounds on this tank, are definitely going to help against these tier 9 tanks. As you can see over there, several rounds bouncing off the Type 4 heavy, even with the APCR rounds. That's just how well armoured that tank is. But, you know, the side of the turret over there, easy shots over there. But now, one bad thing about this tank, I guess, is the kind of box kind of nature of this tank. Of course, it does have 100mm of hull armor at the front and 80 at the side and rear, and the same with the turret. And that was quite useful during World War II, but this isn't kind of like a World War II simulation, I guess. It does have tanks for World War II, but then it has post-World War II tanks with a lot more armor, a lot more penetration than those World War II tanks. And of course, this being, you know, square, so it doesn't have any angling like, you know, most, you know, Russian and American tanks had, and still do to this day. You know, every single tank now is basically quite well armoured and angled. But of course, this having quite a lot of armour, but it being flat, that actually made it possible for, you know, I'm pretty sure T-34s and M4 Shermans to actually penetrate it during the during the during World War II even. You know, maybe not at long ranges, but definitely at close range, it was quite possible, especially from the side and rear. But Doctor already up to 2,800, making that 3,000 damage in this game, actually bouncing 1,000. So he's showing you that this arm might not be the best because it's not angled, but still being quite useful from time to time. And as we see over here, 80mm of side hull armor, that actually, of course, means that that Patriot isn't going to be able to overmatch. I'm pretty sure no tank's going to be able to overmatch because, of course, the free kind of caliber policy, you know, that you can't overmatch a plate if the caliber of your gun is 3 or lower or something. You probably know what I'm on about. Definitely didn't explain it the best over there. But already up to 4,000 damage, so quickly shaving off, you know, 1,000, 1,200 of that Patriot over there. You know, a really good tier 8 tank. But this, having actually probably similar DPM towards that, maybe a bit less. The Patriot maybe has 2,500 or something, but this being a whole tier lower, and having 2,200 is still absolutely brilliant. Now get shot by the Leo over there, bringing him down to 734 hit points. That's just under half of his hit points, and he gets shot by the P-34 turn now, so he's only he's under 500 hit points now. So you have to kind of watch out for this, you know, during any single game. Now you look at the enemy team, you see the only, if he's using the derp gun and he penetrates, he can one-shot me. He's not a problem anymore. The P-34 Ter, about a 2-shot, maybe a 3-shot. ISU 152K, 1-shot, you're a 1-shot for him. Object 704, you're a 1-shot for him. Kunzenpanzer, 2-shot, and an ML2, a 2-shot, but of course he's an auto-loader. So you have to watch out in these kind of situations and kind of pick off the enemy tanks that are low on hit points, like that Kunzenpanzer. Because, you know, you kill him now, he's out of the game and he's not going to kill you. There we go, brilliant shot by Doctor over there, killing the Kunzenpanzer. That was a really pixel perfect snipe over there at that tank. You killed them now, they're out of the game, they're not going to be able to shoot you anymore. But you leave them, and if you're then fighting another tank, then, you know, they could come back and kill you. But like that, they're out of the game, you don't have to worry about them anymore. And the Doctor over here is now left in a 3 versus 4, down 1,000 hit points, and the only tanks on his team are a 122 TM and an STMO, which are really the best of tanks that you'd want to kind of face, be against, and be with when you're against an ML2, an Object 704, an ISU 152K, and a P-34 Ter. Unlucky for Doc over there, he bounces his first shell into the ML2. That actually means that he isn't able to kill him over there. If he put in the first shot, he would have killed the ML2 over there, but then he would have died quite quickly because of the P-43 Ter behind him. But of course, this being Assault, I'm pretty sure this game mode is called. I don't really play this, I don't really like it. Yes, Assault. The only thing that Doctor's team have to do over here is to kill the remaining enemy tanks or run away and hope that the base doesn't get capped within the last couple of minutes that the game is here. Unlucky for the 122 TM. He had a shot into the back of the ML2's turret over there, but it missed or bounced or something. It didn't go in. The STM gets shot once by the ML2, and oh, the 122 TM misses once again. You must be just, oh, and the STM just tracks the ML2. This is just absolutely bad. And you know, when you're the Doctor over here, Dr. Snoo, I'm not really sure how to pronounce the nickname, but when you're him, you just feel so bad. The 122 TM doesn't kill him. The ML2 only tracks him once again. If he would have aimed that one for a little bit longer, he would have shot him. Now the ML2 has reloaded. There's 2 people capping the base. The ML2 is reloaded. The 122 TM actually kills the ML2, but it's too late, too little too late. The base gets captured, and that's a defeat, a really, really sad defeat for a tier 7 Tiger. you know, fighting against the tier 9s and doing quite well. Let's look at the post-game stats and let's see how well Doctor did in this game. So talk about punching above your weight, you know. I'm not really sure if there was anything else that Dr. Snoo could have done in the Tiger one over here. Picking up his first mark of excellence on this tank. An ace tanker even on the defeat and a Confederate medal. 5,545 damage, 3 kills, 1,210 base experience even on the defeat. You know, that just shows you that sometimes, you know, you do everything that you can, but maybe it's just sometimes, you know, just not your day and you're not meant to win that game. But really, really sad for Doctor over here. And he actually loses 77,000 credits because, of course, firing loads of APCR, but you know, if this would have been a win, I would have probably been fine with losing that much, maybe even more than that, in order to take this game out. But sadly for Doctor over here, you know, a defeat, but a really, really honourable fight for the Tiger one. A really, really good tank, and especially after the buffs it's received in the last couple of years. It's definitely one of the best tier 7 tanks in the game. But for now, there's games. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.